Are we good? We're good.
Have you gone through all the 8 questions though?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did B1 and B2 in the last hour.
You solved all the 8 questions, yeah?
Yeah, but I'll do A10 again.
B1 and B2 is easy.
B1 and B2 were easy, weren't they?
Yeah.
But I think it gets a bit harder after that.
Yeah. No, B3 is fine. It's B4 and
Well,
B6.
I'm sorry to tell you, that was a real exam question.
No, this exam was so hard.
No problem.
Exam overall.
What's wrong with you?
Overall, it's so hard.
Ah, come on.
Compared to the
This is life, you know.
They get the
Exactly right, young Tang. Exactly right. Okay.
Where do you get how you combine them?
I thought you were going to say, where'd you get off giving us such hard questions like this? Yeah, I combined them. And plus I put in a sprinkle of a Stephen question here or there. Speaking of which, A10 now.
A10.
You should be pleased. A10 was inspired by you. You inspired me, wasn't it? Because you asked me in that lesson when we did area, you said, did they ever give you the area and ask you for the equation? I'm like, ah, interesting, Amjad. So this should have been easy for you. No, I didn't say that. I said they've never done that. Yeah. So it was easy for you. Yeah, okay. Right, so we'll have a look at A10 here. So what we have,
Minus x squared.
yeah, well if we look at the graph here, our quadratic looks like this. So it goes up, comes down here. And this is, what? This is 3 and this is minus 3. And you know that this area is the same as this area. Come on. Come on, you're distracting me with your pastries. Come on. Okay. So there's a couple of things we know about the quadratic already. We know that one of the solutions should be 3. What?
I'm sorry.
Come on. Are you ready now? Yes. Okay. So there's 2 things you know about this quadratic already. It has a solution here at 3. So if you think about the quadratic, you can think of it like this. It'll be, okay, there's a couple of ways you can write it. You could say ax squared plus bx plus c. That's one form it could take. You could say ax plus b times cx plus d. That's another form. You could even say ax plus b squared plus c. That's another form. Or you could even say y equals a x plus b and then this one here. Well, I suppose strictly speaking that would be cx plus d. There's many different forms you can put it in. We need to pick the one that's most convenient. And we should also use the fact that this is a 3 here. You see, if I use ax squared plus bx plus c, there's no easy way to include the fact that I know this is 3. So the easiest thing for me to do is say that y equals some constant times x plus some constant times x minus 3. Because this represents the quadratic with a solution at 3. Some other solution here at b, at x equals b.
What about you?
And I'll put the 0 in a moment. And the a, I don't know what the a is, but at least I know it's negative because of its shape. So this seems to me the easiest form to deal with.
It's -1 and it's -b. It's not plus b.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because when I expand it at the end, it'll be the same. Right, okay. Now, we have to use the fact that this is a minus 3 here. So I have minus 3 equals a 0 plus b times 0 minus 3. So I get minus 3 and minus 3 cancelled. So A times B should equal 1. Okay? A times B should equal 1. What?
Now flow backwards.
Yeah, and then put it in backwards. So do we replace the A or do we replace the B?
Yeah. Same thing.
It's the same thing. Would one be
Yeah.
any easier than the other?
A would be easier.
Yeah, I kind of think so. Replace the A with A is 1 over B. So now my quadratic becomes y equals A. No, sorry.
Over B.
Y equals 1 over B. X plus B. X minus 3. Well, I'm in a very good situation. I only have one constant left to find, which is the B. And I haven't used the fact that the area is the same here. So you have two equations you can use. You can either... oh, by the way, what is this point here?
That's root.
We don't know.
It's a minus.
It's minus B,
Yeah.
if I'm going by this formula. I can see why you said to put in minus B here, because then that lets you write B here. So it's too late now to change it. I'll just keep it as minus B. So I can tell that my B will be negative. And your B was
You
probably
have to-
positive.
Yeah, you have to either have the A negative or the B negative.
One of them has to be, yeah. So you can make two equations here. You can either say the area minus the area from 0 to minus B, that's equal to the integration from minus B to 3. You're saying this area equals this area, which I tell you. Or the other form, which I find more convenient, is if you integrate from 0 to 3, what should this total?
What?
If I integrate from 0 to 3, what's the total here of this and this? Should be 0. Because this area is equal to this, but this area is negative. So when it combines with this area, it becomes 0. So this is the most convenient form. So integrate from 0 to 3. Now I should expand here. That's 1 over b times x squared minus 3x. X squared minus 3x plus bx minus 3b dx. That should equal 0. Okay, let's continue.
So this won't work.
What do you mean it won't work?
You have the A positive and the B positive. This won't work.
Okay, trust me, Santa. We'll see. Okay, so what I can do is I can multiply both sides by b to cancel out this. So if I integrate, I get x cubed over 3 minus 3x squared over 2 plus bx squared over 2 minus 3bx, put in 0 and 3 and that should equal 0. There's no point in putting in the 0. Why? Because, well, I get 0. So I just need to put in the 3. So 3 cubed over 3 is 9. That's minus 27 over 2 plus 9 over 2b minus 9b, that should equal 0. So I'll get b equals minus 1 when I solve this. And that means a equals minus 1.
I might be stupid for asking, but why is the 3x squared over 2?
Increase the power, divide by the new power.
Oh.
Yeah? So now I can finish. I can sub in my answer. Y equals, come on, y equals a minus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. So my final answer is minus x squared. That's minus 3x. Minus x is minus 4x plus 1 is 4x. And then minus by minus by minus is minus 3. So that's the quadratic at the end there. It'll show up now in a second. Yep.
I have two questions. Number one is, when you integrated, why didn't you put plus c as well?
No, dude, don't break my heart, man. You know you don't put the plus c in when you have limits.
Oh yeah. Okay. The second question is.
No, before you ask it, think deeply to yourself. Do you already know the answer? Think deeply.
I feel like I do, but
No?
I'm not sure.
Okay, go on.
With the area under the curve for
Yeah.
the left side,
Yeah.
I considered it the area under the x-axis,
Yeah.
and I took a quadratic and a linear. The linear being the
There's
x-axis.
no linear in this.
Yeah, but I don't see how this area is under the curve.
It just looks like a linear. It's not actually linear.
It's under the curve. It's just under is different when you're upside down. Under the curve means from the curve to the x-axis.
It's not from.
It's not under as in like, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, the expression under the curve, strictly speaking, means between the curve and the x-axis.
I thought that you take the x-axis as another line that is here separate.
No need to complicate it like that.
So
Yes, Amjad.
I solved it by the vertex coordinates. Ax minus h squared plus k.
What? The what now? Oh, use the form of the vertex. A bracket x plus b squared plus c.
You still get the same.
Yeah.
It's easier.
How could it be easier?
Just find the vertex.
No, but where's the vertex? How would you find the vertex?
By finding first,
Did you actually solve it? Did you?
but I think I put it 6x, not 4x.
Did anyone get this answer?
I found out where it's similar now.
Like this?
Yeah. You use a general formula ax squared plus.
Yeah.
And finally get b equals minus 3a plus 2. And you have the other equation. It's a equals 1 over b. If you eliminate these two
So you made it a simultaneous problem. Yeah, good. Quicker or shorter than the quicker or longer? Shorter.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I've got 5 steps that now from the functions.
Good stuff. Okay. There's many ways. The vertex way would work, but I don't agree with you that it's quicker. You see, you don't even have the answer yet.
I forgot to find the
Ah, yeah, okay. Okay, that was a hard one. But the rest of section A was okay. Yes? No. I only have my one here. You can take a copy on your phone, no? It was just one I made up and gave out in the last class. No. Did you come to the practice test? Did you come to the... Yeah, for good reasons? Where are you? Tomorrow? No. Okay. People who missed it, I'll print extra copies after this class. What class you got after this class? Are you in this room?
Yes.
I'll print extra copies and I'll leave them at the back of the room so you can just collect them on your way out. Okay. Right, continue, Amjad? Okay.
B3.
Now, I've done B1 and 2 in the previous class and the video is already uploaded if you want to see it. B1 and B2 turned out to both be much easier than normal, I thought. But B3 is a little tricky. So let's have a look at B3. Don't make Amjad feel bad because he had trouble with B3, okay? So B3 was very hard.
Be seriously?
Okay.
It wasn't that hard, but like.
It's just a little bit
Would everybody stop picking on Amjad, please? Okay, come on. B3, A part 1. Right. Guys, you ready there? Guys, ready? B3, part 1 here. So you have N equals AEKT. And you're told after 3 years, well, let's start the first one, the other one. After 8 years, there's 1585 bats after 8 years. So AE 8K. And then you're also told after 3 years, there's 583 bats after 3 years.
elimination.
Yeah, so what's the best way to solve? Is by dividing. So you have 1585. Whoa, 1585 over 583 equals A and A cancels. E8k divided by E3k is E5k. And I cancel E with log, so log, cancel, and I have 5k. So then I divide by 5 and I get 0.2.
1.200.
Yeah, 0.2. Find the number of bats at the beginning. So that is figuring out the A.
We have K.
Yeah, so we have 583 equals A, E.
K was 0.2.
K was 0.2, yeah. A, E. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Wait, sorry. That's not it. And I can just take this, yeah, sorry, I can just take this equation. I can divide by 583 divided by e power 3k,
Yeah.
which is 0.6. That should equal the A.
Yep. 320.
What is it?
302.
320.
I'm sorry, 20. 320.
320. Yes, no?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
In this line here, I simply divide it by E3k and something the k. K is 0.2. You did what now? What? We're getting the A. We need to use logs to get the A. Did you get this answer for A? So what did you do after you did the test? You just threw the paper in the bin?
No, I forgot it.
Oh, what did you do that for? Alright.
Can't just like do lots and bring down the 3k and then
No,
divide
no, just do this. Thank you. Part 3. So you have n equals A, E, K, T. And they want the derivative here. So dn dt, so bring the 0.2 down. So that's 64, isn't it? E 0.2 t, and you're actually told the t, it's 5, right? So that's going to be 64 times e power 1. So what's that about, 170?
3.96.
174.
Does it say how many figures?
3 is the usual. Okay, B.
I replaced before taking it down.
Replace the 4?
Yeah.
What 4?
Before the writing.
Yeah, 320 times 0.2 is 64. Oh?
It's 320.
What?
You know how you took the 0.2 down?
Yes.
I replaced it before doing that.
No.
You don't do that.
No. The T is the last thing to replace.
T is a variable.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right, can we do the B part now?
Yes.
B. 2 log x5 plus a half log x144 minus log x3 equals 2. I'll bring all those powers up. So the 2 comes up and the half comes up. So that's log x25 plus log x12 is 144 to the power of a half is 12 minus log x3 equals 2. So when I add, I multiply, and when I minus, divide. 3 for 100, is it?
Yes.
Log x 100 equals 2. So it means x squared equals 100. So x is 10.
Should I plus 1 over 2?
I don't know, because we don't really like the minus in the base, and x is in the base at the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
Won't work.
yeah.
You don't need to state the signs.
No. Oh, so. Okay.
This one will be.
So for the next one, x definitely has to be positive. Continue?
Yes.
Okay. Right, you want to solve log x 6x equals 2. So that means x squared equals 6x. That means x squared minus 6x equals 0. So x minus 6 equals 0. You can't really have x as 0.
It's undefined.
Yeah, so the answer is only x is 6.
So
Yeah.
second step could be take the x and
Yeah.
You can, because you know that x can't be 0. Only because you know that.
What about?
One at a time. Mo.
Do we have to specify, like in the exam, do you have to write x cannot equal to 0? Would we get a mark for that?
It's weird. Sometimes they want you to reject an answer. So you could play it safe and write this down. But for 2 marks, it'd be hard to believe that one of the marks was for rejecting an answer. So for a 2-mark question, I left it out because I can't possibly imagine that the 2 marks were one for the right answer and one for rejecting the wrong answer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, if it was, say, a 6-mark question, then perhaps that's different. Amjad, you were asking me? Okay. Continue? Right, B4 now, part A. So you have sine theta equals 2 over 7. Find 2 possible values for tan theta. So we need to find cos theta, because tan theta is sine theta over cos theta. So you could draw the triangle, but because they're looking for 2 values, I'll use the formula sine squared plus cos squared equals 1, because then I can see cos is plus or minus root 1 minus sine squared theta. So I get cos theta equals, now I should still draw the triangle, Amjad, to help me out here. Well, do I need to? No, I don't really actually. Plus or minus 1 minus 4 over 49. Is that root? That's 9 times 5.
3 square root 5.
45 is 9 by 5, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 square
So
root
that's 3 root 5. 3 root 5 over 7.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. But there's 2 answers here, plus or minus. Now, which quadrant could I be in? Well, there's one thing we know for certain, that sine theta is positive. That's the only thing we know for certain. So, in which quadrants does that happen?
1 and 3. 18.
1 and 2. Yeah.
So cosine is next to it.
So, cos is also in these quadrants because it's the same angle. So either cos is positive or cos is negative. Well, that's no surprise because we just got plus or minus here. Does that correspond with tan? Tan is either positive or negative. Yeah, so it looks like the 2 values for tan will be 1 positive and just 1 negative. So tan theta is sine over cos. And there's 2 cos's, and so there's 2 tans. I can cancel those 7's, and I'm left with plus or minus 2 over 3 root 5, which I actually need to clean up, because I multiply the top and bottom by root 5. So that's plus or minus 2 root 5 over 15. It's a lot of work for 2 marks.
Just draw a triangle.
Yeah, if you're careful, you can just do that. Yeah, the triangle. That's fine. That's fine, but did you include the minus answer?
No.
Now see, so that's not fine. That's why I didn't use the triangle, because I wanted to make it as clear as possible why there are two answers here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I solved backwards from sine finding theta and then.
Yeah, now they won't let you do that anymore, because in the newer exam, you were never supposed to do it this way, because they said find the answer in surd form, meaning, okay, in other words, that was never allowed, and in the newer exams they make it clearer by saying in brackets after the question, you cannot find theta. Yeah.
Well, I did find it in surd form.
No, you'll get the right answer,
Mm-hmm.
but they won't let you do it that way.
Okay. Sounds easier.
How can it be negative? Sorry.
How can what?
How can this be negative?
That's why I didn't draw the triangle, to avoid exactly that question. The triangle...
It can't be negative.
Why?
because now we're going to have a discussion, you see, about this, which I wanted to avoid by not doing this method. You're right, sides can't be negative. But that triangle is not 100% accurate, because it's not quite a triangle you're using, but the circle, the coordinate circle. You know the circle? The unit circle? Where each point on it is the point cos A sine A? Yeah, you see, and those can be negative. Now you see, this is what I wanted to avoid. That's why I didn't do it that way. I had my reasons for doing things, you know. It's not the correct method, because she didn't get two answers. Did you get two answers? Exactly. So, correct method in that I got it half wrong. Good method. Right, can we continue? Yes? Okay. A weather balloon is tethered by two ropes, and here's the pictures, and the question is, what's the distance A and B in both pictures? So, what rule will give us the AB here?
Sine.
The sine rule.
Yeah.
Will it?
That's
It
the
will.
only thing you could use.
You could say sine 36 over 5.9 equals
X over.
sine B over 7.8. You have to get the B first.
You can do cos.
Wait, hang on. No, you can use the cosine rule.
Yeah, if
Just
you
use the cosine rule.
yeah, you get
So
it.
you can
much
say,
work for cos-
no, it's quicker.
We have an answer.
Yeah, you say 5.9 squared equals 7.8 squared plus c squared minus twice 7.8 cos 36.
That's way more.
To be C?
What did I forget? Oh, sorry. There's a c here.
Did Phil using sine over?
No. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. For this particular question, I designed it, or not that I designed it, I put it in for you to use cosine rule. Because if you look at this, what type of equation do I have now for C? How many solutions does a quadratic have? How many solutions am I looking for?
You-
I got enough.
Well, I did get two solutions as well.
Yeah, I know.
So,
No,
you'll see the
stop. I feel like you're just doing this to annoy me now. I'm not saying other methods don't exist. Of course other methods exist. I am telling you the most efficient way to do it. If you want to excel in the exam, you need to listen to what I'm saying. Okay? This is the best way. Why is this the best way? What type of equation is this? Quadratic. How many solutions? 2. How many am I looking for? 2. So as soon as I solve this, I'm finished. Done. If I use the sine rule, I'm going to have to do everything twice. Who used the sine rule? And did it require you to do everything twice?
Yeah.
And would you prefer to do everything once? So the next question should not be, teacher, can I use this method which is longer, slower, and more likely to make a mistake? Does anyone want to ask me this? I'm just to put your hand down. Right. So, okay. Mo, could you kindly do 7.8 squared minus 5.9 squared? And could you type in, I want the 2, the 7.8, and the cos 36, please?
26.03.
Okay, what did you get? 26.03
Okay.
positive, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
15.6C.
15 point
6C.
C. Wow, I'm nearly finished. I solved this quadratic and I have 4 marks. Okay, so C equals, and you can use the formula, minus B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Done.
Where did the cost 36 come?
Did you not type cos 36 in? Oh, come on, give me a break, man.
50.6 times cos
It's
36.
12 points.
What is it?
12.6.
12.16.
12.62. Okay. Do you think you can type the quadratic in for me? No, it's a very stressful day, okay? I just had that HS2 first, and they're very, very stressful.
It's Christmas.
Is there a question?
Doesn't feel like it. Right, 12.62. Now, be very careful what you ask me, because you can see that I'm on edge at the moment right now, so...
It's a simple question.
Oh, they're the worst kind.
No, like, because you're not really staying accurate by rounding up so much. So, is that okay?
Well, you have that mode in the calculator where you can type in, store... I showed you this, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can store the digits into a variable.
Don't we have to show our work?
Well, you see, in the exam, as long as your workings are to 4 significant figures, and you see all my numbers are, 12.62 is 4, 26.03 is 4, then I've fulfilled the minimum requirement of the exam. But do you can store you can store values on that calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do that. What are the 2 answers here?
It's 10.
5 to 8.
10 point...
It's just 10.
Oh, 10 exact.
No, 10.0 point something.
Okay, to 3 significant figures, it's 10. Or
10 or 2.597.
2.5, 2.6.
And it's 10.0229.
So 10 to 3 significant figures.
No.
I got 2 different answers.
Say again, Amjad.
You said 10 to 3 significant.
That is, Amjad, don't. Please, don't.
It's 10, man. It's 10.
I
So
got
it's
2 different
10.02.
answers using sign.
Yes? Did you get these 2 answers? So, the people who use the sign rule, did you get these 2 answers? No. You got these 2 answers?
Yes.
And used the sign rule. So this is exactly the point I'm making. By using a longer method, you have more opportunities to make mistakes. Do you know? It's like running a longer race. Each extra kilometre gives you another chance to have a heart attack and make your life more difficult. In this particular method, I only had to use the cosine rule, produce a quadratic, and solve the quadratic.
Yeah.
Auxiliary.
Yeah. Yes?
Time is
So
money.
if you're saying that I did it a different way and I got the wrong answer, you're only providing more evidence for why you should listen to me. Okay. Yes?
So time is money.
Yes. Especially in the exam. It's very valuable. Very valuable. Like I said before, the biggest challenge the students face in the exam is completing the exam on time. You know, because you have 2 hours, like our last class, to do this paper. So there's no time for messing about. Straight to the answer. Okay. On to part C now. Right, so you replace cos squared with 1 minus sine squared. Yes, this one, Amjad. Minus 6 equals 0. Minus 10 sine squared theta plus 10 plus 3 sine theta minus 6 equals 0. So that's 10 sine squared theta minus 3 sine theta minus 4 equals 0. Do we have factors here? Please tell me we do. Well, it could be 2 and 2. I don't think it'll be 10 and 1.
Yeah, there's factors.
Is it 5 and 2?
It's
5 sine theta
5 sine theta
and
minus
2
4 and 2 sine theta plus 1.
Are you sure?
Yeah, minus 4 and
5 minus 8 is minus 3. Okay. So here you get sine theta equals minus a half, and here you get sine theta equals 4 for 5. So how many answers in each case? 2. So total number?
4.
4. So you have here theta is sine inverse 4/5, if you don't mind, Mo. Are you in radian mode?
Yeah, I need to
We need to be in radian mode, thank you. 0.927. And the second answer for sine is pi minus the first answer. So, minus? Oh, no, I'm talking about the second answer for this one, not over here. No, pi minus 0.9 should be positive.
Yeah, I've done it differently.
we add
Yeah.
minus pi, right? Minus 2 pi?
Minus 2.
Just listen to my words. The second answer for sine, isn't it pi minus the first answer? So just type in
Yeah.
pi minus 0.927.
2.214.
2 point, okay,
1.5.
2.215, that's what I wrote, isn't it? Sine inverse minus a half, please. Is minus,
Minus 0.52.
yeah, minus pi over 6. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then pi minus pi over 6 is 7 over 6 pi, isn't it?
3.66 pi.
Yeah, 7 over 6 pi. Are all these answers acceptable? No. Which one requires fixing?
The minus. Minus and
No, this one's okay.
this is fine.
If you add 2 pi to this, what's that? 20.
Thing is, I don't have.
11 over 6 pi.
I have a distance. 9.9.
No, that decimal's fine. Decimal's fine. And that decimal will be acceptable.
This thing doesn't give me pi.
I know you keep going. Write to Santa, dear Santa, this Christmas I would like a new calculator that has pi on it.
Sorry, how did you get 11?
Wait, where is it then?
Add 2 pi to pi over 6. Is it not 11 over 6?
What?
Good grief.
So you're coming to the Christmas party?
Yeah, I am actually, yeah. Just don't look at me or talk to me and leave me alone.
Someone told me to choose Marcus.
Ah, so this is my fault, is it? That's true, that's true. I was doing you a favour. Right, the last one, D. Can we do D? Yeah?
Oh, no.
No, it's alright. Just, the most important thing is don't annoy me and distract me when I'm doing it, and listen carefully, okay? So if you look at the picture here, we have this curve, and it goes down, hits the bottom here, and comes back up. And this point here we know is 10. And this point here we know is 2 pi, and this point here we know is 4 pi. They don't specify sine or cos, but which does it look more like to begin with? Does it look more like a sine or a cos? Well, it looks more like a cos that's kind of being stretched and pulled up, okay? So let's figure this out. Y equals A cos B x plus C plus D. Okay, first the A. How big is this graph? How many units? 10. And how big should it be?
2.
2. A normal cos is 2 units big.
So 5.
And this one is 10. So we've already worked out the A.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. Now let's go to the B. How long is a cos graph normally?
5.
Try again. 2 pi. And how long is this one?
4 pi.
So how much bigger is it?
By 2.
2. So the B is
2.
No, don't make a Stephen mistake. 1 over 2. Yeah, we try not to repeat our mistakes. Now, cos should be centered at the origin, going up to 5 and down to minus 5. However, this graph goes from 0 to 10. So it's been raised up. How many units has it been raised up? No, 5. Because think about it, the cos should be going from minus 5 to 5.
Yeah.
But now it goes from 0 to 10. So to get the minus 5 up to 0 and to get the 5 up to 10, I have to shift everything up 5 units. So the D is 5. So lastly, I can get the C by subbing in this point. So 10 should equal 5 cos C plus 5, because the x is 0. So 10 minus 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1. So C is just going to be whatever cos inverse of 1 is, which is 0. Which is not surprising because the graph doesn't look like it's been shifted left or right. So the final answer is y equals 5 cos a half x plus 5. Mo, hit that in on your graphing calculator and see that it matches up. I did 5 in class. Have a look at 5. I did that one in class.
The only one I had an issue with was
Yeah, but I did this one in class. You all remember me doing this one in class? When did I do it? Last week. It matches up? Nice. So, I think you'll all probably want to really see 6. Yes. Did anybody feel like they got 6 right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I gave up.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
I got it.
Good, good, okay. Find the equation Pn. What's Pn? Pn, they tell you, is a tangent. So what do I need to do first?
Greatness.
Say again? Yeah. So the derivative here is 4x minus 7 over x squared. And what's the value of x? 1. So what's the derivative here's value is? Minus 3. So y equals minus 3x plus c. I have to sub in the point. What's the point? The point is 1, 9. How did I get the 9? I substitute in the 1 for x to get the y. The y is 9. Yes?
Where do you get minus 3?
It's 4 minus 7.
Oh, okay.
Continue. Continue.
Yes.
So 9 equals minus 3 plus c. So what's c? 12. So y equals minus 3x plus 12. That's part 1, the tangent line. Part 2, find where it cuts the x-axis. How do I do that?
Substitute
For what? X or y?
1.
Good. You had a 50-50 chance. Good job. Minus 3x plus 12. So what's the x here? 4. Right. Part 3. Find the area between the curve and the x-axis between 1 and 4. So in the picture, if I just go to the side, they're looking for this area. So what do I do to get this area? Integrate, yeah. So I integrate here from 1 to 4. 4x, no. Integrate from 1 to 4. 2x squared plus 7 over x dx. So that will be 2x cubed over 3 plus 7 log x, 4 and 1. First I put in 4. 4 cubed is 64, isn't it? 64 times 2 is 128. 128 doesn't divide by 3. Plus 7 log 4. Minus 2 over 3. So that will be 126 over 3 plus 7 log 4. 3 does go into that. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 42 plus 7 log 4 is what I'm getting for the area.
What about the linear line?
Yeah, that's the next part. How do I get which? 7 log 4?
Log x.
7 log x. Oh, I integrate 7 over x.
Also, you took it as 1 over x.
Yeah, 7 times 1 over x. Yeah. Right. If I go back to the picture, just over here for one moment, can you all see in the picture there's a triangle here? I want to get the area of this. How big is the base? Well, we worked out that this point here is 4, didn't we? And this point here is 1, so the base is 3 units. And the height we worked out, didn't we? Was 9. So it's a half 3 times 9, isn't it? So that's 27 over 2. That's the area of the triangle. Okay. So for the last part, they want you to calculate the ratio of the two areas. So that's this piece compared to this piece. Yes? So the ratio would be, the ratio for, what did we say the triangle was just a moment ago? 27 over 2.
Sir,
What?
don't you have to find point M before that? On the graph?
No, you
Find
don't.
the area?
Yeah.
No. No. Yeah. Well, hang on, I'm going to write down. What is the triangle? 27 over 2 to the ratio of 42 plus 7 log 4 minus 27 over 2. That's how big the upper piece is. It's the total minus the triangle. Now, how do you simplify this ratio? So I would like the ratio to begin with the number 1. So what do I do to simplify the ratio to have it begin with the number 1? Divide both sides by 27 over 2. So if you type in 42 plus 7 log 4 minus 27 over 2 and divide it by 27 over 2, you'll get 2.83.
Okay, the issue I had is in the question before that, I considered PM without PM.
Huh? Say what, man?
So I considered the area under the curve to be that without the triangle.
Without the triangle? No. Did anybody confirm?
Yeah, it's 2.8299.
Okay. That said this one was difficult.
I thought we had to find point M for that.
No.
My bad.
For there's a question in B5 which I was not sure how to show my answer.
Yeah, I did this one in class. I did B5 in class already.
The exact same
The
one?
exact same one, right? You remember doing this, yeah. You're not watching the videos when you miss class.
I didn't miss class though. I missed only Friday. Wasn't for Friday, was it?
Yeah,
I saw the video for Friday.
you were in Cat 9.
You attend just
No, I attended all except Friday.
Let's find out.
You want me to leave a like and a comment every time I watch your video?
It would reassure me to know that you've watched the videos you've missed. Wait there, guys, wait. This is HS1, isn't it?
Yeah.
What the heck week are we on now? What's going on? What date is today? What date's today? The 19th.
19th.
Right.
Sir, I'm still struggling with some basic probability stuff. What should I do? I know the tree one and I know the table one, but the last one we had, I'm not so good at. I don't know what to do.
1 second, dudes. What day is today? Wednesday, isn't it? So let me see last week. What? I put in my attendance for last week, it deleted it. Anyways, hang on. I'll just put in today's. The heck? Oh, for goodness sake.
For B, for B, you saw using sign it. I got it. Can I please see what the answer you got? I got a different answer as well. Hmm? I used sign one and I got a completely different answer.
You were out Friday last week.
Yeah, only Friday. And I watched the video, so I'm not sure where the answer.
You watched the video.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'll tell it, I don't mind commenting and liking every time I watch the video.
Anyways, hang on. Let's do Wednesdays here. Right, edit.
Okay, what did you get? I was trying to remember.
Actually, sir, can we do B2B?
I did it in the previous class.
Oh, yeah, right, sorry.
Yeah, you can watch the video. B2B? Yeah, it's the last thing I did, so you can jump to the last 5 minutes of the last video.
Is the answer 8, 12, 18?
Hang on 1 sec. Wait, what are you asking me?
Is the answer B2B the
8, 12, 18, yeah. Mahmoud!
Yes.
Gafar!
You said you
Zara! No, Amjad!
B.
Zara! Zara! No. Mo!
Santa Mo.
Santa Mo! Daniel! Daniel! Savi! Sabrina?
Yes.
Alfreda?
Yes.
Aria? Chidi? Yung Pang? Amna? Mariam? Hey, your attendance is a lot better than the other group. Oh, but they had the other group at 9 o'clock. That might be a factor.
We
We were waiting for an
waiting
hour.
for chemistry. And she never.
Chinner.
Yeah, but I'm saying the other group, the attendance was low, and I had them at 9 o'clock. So I'm wondering if people I didn't have will now be present. Because you have a class now after this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
yeah.
chemistries. Timetable keeps changing.
Sir, I have a question.
That's a good.
It's not about a math question. It's just
Should I stop the video, in other words? Okay.
for probability. The last lesson